Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I'll be giving you my spoiler-filled review and thoughts on the very first episode of the latest Walking Dead spinoff titled The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. That's right, featuring both the return of both Andrew Lincoln and Danai Gurira back in their respective roles as Rick and Michonne, finally after all these years away from the screen. That's right, the first episode premiered today on AMC Plus, and I believe drops on AMC cable regular tonight. But I have AMC Plus, so I was able to watch it just now. Very much enjoyed it. Before I get into all of that, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you're not caught up on The Ones Who Live, which is only one episode so far, and it's its first premiere episode, and if you plan to watch it, you don't want to keep listening to or watching this particular video, as I will be dropping major spoilers throughout. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, so great to see both these actors and their respective characters again after all this time. Granted, it was roughly less than 2 years ago we saw them both briefly return in the Walking Dead series finale in November of 2022. And that was the last time we saw both these characters, but it was very brief. And that was more of a stinger at the end of that show to tease this new series. Now, whether or not this is meant to be an ongoing series or a limited series is still quite unclear to me. So for now, I'm just going to refer to it as a series or a ongoing show until we hear otherwise. So, that being said, it's so good to see them both back in the Walking Dead universe. Andrew Lincoln wanted to bow out after 9 seasons, so they wrote him off halfway through season 9. And then Danai Gurira had a similar exit in mind, as she wanted to focus on her career as well. You know, she's quite busy being both Michonne and General Okoye in the MCU. So she left halfway through season 10, and then we saw nor heard, we didn't see nor hear neither trace of either of these characters for many years after that, until the Walking Dead series finale, which showed the two of them in their respective locations trying to get back to one another. And now this show has premiered, showing us what at least Rick has been up to. So, as a lot of people speculated, he has been confined as a consignee to the Civic Republic military that has been controlling parts of the country throughout the Walking Dead franchise. We've seen him in World Beyond, in Fear the Walking Dead, and a couple of times in the main Mothership show when it was still on. So now we get, it seems like this is their HQ in the remains of Philadelphia, or Philadelphia itself. And Rick has been trying to escape this whole time, trying to get back to Michonne and Judith and basically everybody else that he left behind on that bridge this whole time. And he's really not interested in the CRM or what they're doing, what they're up to. He just wants to get back home. And the opening scene alone in this show really set a tone, or what's the word I'm looking for? Is it tone? Yeah, set a tone as to what exactly we could expect this show to be. When you have your lead character of not only this show, but of the main franchise as a whole, amputate his hand and then stick that stump into a burning walker that's still, partially alive, biting at him. And he sticks his stump of a hand in there to burn and cauterize the wound. I mean, damn. Like, I can only imagine whoever that had idea, whether it was Gimple, the showrunner, or Andrew Lincoln or Danai Gurira, because they're both creatively involved as well as EPs and writers on this show. One of them, or somebody, whoever had that idea, was like, hey, what if we open this show with Rick cutting off his hand and sticking the stump into a burning walker to cauterize it? Great idea. Put it pen to paper and let's film it. Can you imagine being in the writer's room for that particular pitch? Oh my God, I would have lost my mind knowing that was coming. But I had no idea they would do that. And it was truly shocking to see it unfold, mostly because Robert Kirkman has a few regrets about the comic book series, at least. And one of them was that he wished he hadn't cut off Rick's hand so early on in the series, because that's what happens when he first meets the governor. The governor cuts off Rick's hand. And Robert Kirkman regretted that, because it's like, well, if I wanted him to hold a rifle with two hands, he couldn't, or open a can of food, he couldn't, stuff like that. So that's why throughout the TV show, they let him keep all his appendages. And then they wrote him off, but still had both hands intact. So I wonder if Kirkman changed his mind, or if one of the other powers that be were like, no, let's have Rick lose his hand, just to make things a bit more interesting for his character. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but frankly, it was very surprising to see, and a hell of a way to start this new series. So that alone was very shocking and very exciting to watch unfold. And I like how this first episode basically answered the question what Rick has been up to and has been trying to do ever since he left the main show. Where he's been, what he's been doing, and how he's basically been trying to escape and get back to Michonne and his family ever since. And then it introduced other elements of the CRM, like his fellow consignee, played by the awesome Lesley-Ann Brandt from the hit show Lucifer. She's playing a character named Thorne, who seems awfully cool and badass, and seems to be one of Rick's few friends, along with Esteban, a guy who's a fellow bee and could contribute to the CRM. And then we meet the leader of the CRM. I think he's the leader of the CRM, Major General Teal or Beale, yeah. And then the guy who's been basically Rick's voucher the whole time, and supporter and protector, Okafor. And then, of course, he's dead by the end of the episode. Now, was that something that Rick had planned beforehand, before they hopped into the helicopter, or did somebody shoot some kind of weapon or harpoon gun type thing into the air, and it pierced the back of Okafor's seat, and it went through his chest, and then killing him or whatever, causing the helicopter to crash, what ultimately ended up leading to Rick and Michonne's very surprising reunion by the end of the episode. Like, Michonne, I feel like, was ripping off their helmets just in case to see if any of them were Rick, and thankfully she did that before she slit Rick's throat with her sword, and that led to a very shocking but very awesome reunion. I mean, it feels kind of quick, but I guess in order to keep the show moving along with only 6 episodes in this first season, they kind of have to do things kind of quickly. So I was actually quite surprised, but very pleased that they reunited so quickly. But neither one of them is out of the woods yet by a long shot. So we'll see what happens next. But overall, so far, I would say this was a solid opener to this new series, whether it's meant to be an ongoing series or it's a limited series with only 6 episodes. I have no idea. Only time will tell. But solid opener so far. I mean, it had walkers, it had excitement, it had drama, it had action, it had a little bit of everything that makes a good Walking Dead episode so good, are all the elements that I just mentioned. So I really enjoyed this series opener, season opener, as I hope you guys did too if you're watching this. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We only have 5 more episodes left, each episode dropping respectively on the following Sundays in the next several weeks. So stay tuned for new episodes on a weekly basis on Sundays. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more episode review videos like this one. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.